Hello, everyone. Tonight we're going to do a show. We're going on autopilot on this one. We're going on autopilot. Just got to get our URL here. We'll get going. We got 10 minutes. I'm early. My computer is running low on storage, apparently. We'll be going live at 9 a.m. Let's get these bugs out early. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That's all right. Ain't nobody watching. Nobody to see this horror show. It's 1 minute till. Wow, it's almost like I've done this before. But not really. Oh dear. I just realized something. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. So here we go.
Welcome to the Tea Party with Marty Abernathy, a show by an ultra-feminine, meek, shy, totally unopinionated trans woman that seeks to listen to both sides and does not make fun of TERFs. You've listened to the show, right? You still want me to say this? Well, okay. Here's your host, Marty Abernathy.
Okay. Well, that was fairly slick of me. Because basically I switched sources on the music in between that drop. Welcome to the show tonight, everyone. You can follow me on all the social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. By going to teapartypodcast.com. And you can see you can get all the links to all I didn't even look at this camera before I went on. Oh dear. Oh dear. Welcome to the show, everyone. Tonight's show is going to be kind of a mishmash, as usual. My aunt asked me, she said, why the furrowed brow? It's called old age. And she's older than me. Oh dear. So, let's get into it. I don't know if I should start off with the lighthearted stuff but nah. I want to go straight into drama. So, Jonathan is in the chat and he's saying hi to all the lads, lasses, and NB badasses. That's right. Especially the badasses. We need the badasses in here. Up in the house. Did you brew your tea one of the acceptable ways? I'm not going to tell you if this is tea or not, but you can kind of guess. It's in a tea mug, so yes, it's tea. We're going to call it tea. All right. So let me just switch camera one over to the browser. I think. Burn out. All right. So this is the first story. And basically what this is, Parliament diversity campaign platform transphobes wouldn't rule out hosting racists, alleged former ambassador. So basically, this person, a diversity ambassador for 50-50 Parliament, Jasmine Josephine Sakura Rose, a liberal Democrat, resigned from 50-50 Parliament diversity ambassadors program after it repeatedly ignored trans voices and non-binary people. It has become, quote, it has become abundantly clear to me that while 50-50 is perfectly happy to use women and non-binary people from diverse backgrounds for publicity purposes, when it comes right down to listening to those voices, where have I heard this before? Where have I heard this before? Maybe it was Labor, who just had one of their trans folks resign for the exact same thing. It has become abundantly clear to me that 50-50 is perfectly happy to use women and non-binary people from diverse backgrounds for publicity purposes. But when it comes down to listening to those women and non-binary people, it is the viewpoints of cis women, white women, who are privileged over others, Sakura Rose said in a statement on her resignation. 50-50 Parliament held a question time event on the 21st of January, made up of 4 female politicians, one of them who was Labor MP Rose Duffield. Duffield has been plagued by accusations of transphobia since July 2020, when Keir Starmer repeatedly called on labor members, groups, and LGBT organizations to remove the whip. With Keir Starmer repeatedly called on by labor members, groups, and LGBT organizations to remove the whip and suspend the Canterbury MP over her repeated anti-trans comments. Well, you know, it's so funny that basically Labor decided at that point, they were saying that they weren't weaponizing Jeremy Corbyn's anti-Semitism. Oh, that's in my face. They weren't weaponizing it, and they kicked Jeremy Corbyn, one of the most probably the most ethical politician in politics today. and they kicked him. He's a former leader. They literally just removed the whip from him for anti-Semitism, for him saying that it was weaponized. Guess what? This labor politician, two women who are lesbians that works for her, resigned because of accusations of transphobia in July. Nothing's happened. Absolutely nothing's happened. So it would seem that Jeremy Corbyn was right in what he said. Otherwise, I mean, you know, you can go on down the line from Black Lives Matter and the screw ups that Keir Starmer has made with labor, but this is just this shows that it's not just labor; it's also the Lib Dems. Sakara Rose, who resigned, her statement does not name Duffield, also alleges that when 50-50 Parliament was asked if they'd be willing to host a racist, she was told that there would be a discussion involved in whether to host that speaker. And I'm just like, holy shit. If this is not performative diversity, then I don't know what the fuck is. It's absolutely incredible to me that anybody could see this as anything but that. By the way, if you want to come on the show, actually message me. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and put this on the screen. Anyways, it just seems like to me that every fucking politician out there in the UK is very willing to use trans people to fill out their diversity bingo card, but they don't want to do a damn thing to upset the apple cart or have any really frank discussions on transphobia. It's just not happening. And we're losing ground in the UK. She said in her resignation letter, 50-50 Parliament as an organization talks about being a diverse organization, but does not behave that way. When genuine queries are raised about who it decides to platform and whose ideologies they will promote in doing so, those queries are brushed aside with, we're not going into no platforming. Here's the thing. This whole debate about no platforming is crap. And it's by people that don't really want to have a discussion about, quote, free speech. Because the reality of free speech is it doesn't mean that you have to put every voice out there, right? You don't have to. And you shouldn't. There are things. Okay, Holocaust denial. Should we host Holocaust denial? I don't believe we should, because this is something that has been talked about over and over and over again. And we know the answer. It happened. The Holocaust happened. There's no question about it. We shouldn't have a debate over it. Why? Because that question has been answered. It's been answered a long time ago. It's been asked over and over and over and over again. So there are certain questions we shouldn't ask or we shouldn't debate, because literally giving Holocaust denial a platform is anti-Semitic, because it's a question that's already been answered, and you're giving it legitimacy by saying that it's a valid question that should be debated. So there are questions that shouldn't be asked because they've been debated a million fucking times. Trans people's lives are one of those things. Every time we ask these, quote, we ask people, we'll say, what are these reasonable questions that you're asking about? Because as a trans woman, to be honest with you, I don't want cis women to be unsafe. I don't want them to be vulnerable to attack. I know as a trans person, I've been sexually assaulted multiple times. I don't want anyone to be more vulnerable. But the reality is that the tropes that TERFs will put out, I mean, one of the classic ones is, oh, well, we want trans women to be safe, but we don't want men to use gender ideology to have access to our spaces. And they talk about sex-based rights, which sex-based rights, let me just tell you this, it's not a thing. Literally not a thing. There are no sex-based rights. And there is David in the chat ask, how you doing, Marty? A virus beaten? I believe so. I've still got some lingering fatigue. I haven't been doing my my show on my game night show. By the way, welcome, David. I haven't been doing my game night show for the past couple of weeks just because I've had some fatigue. I am broadcasting every Wednesday and Saturday, come rain or shine, or COVID. But yeah, I've had some lingering effects from that. By the way, if you want to help out, go to patreon.com, or another way you can help us is go to the website, teapartypodcast.com, and subscribe to the channel. There's a link there for the channel. That helps us. I want to get to 100, so that's my goal, is to get to 100 subscribers right now. Some things happen at that point. But yeah. So if you want to help out, go subscribe. That's the biggest thing right now that you could help with the channel. When it comes to actually giving a shit and doing things for trans people politically, to me, it's one of those things that it's not hard, but you have to make a moral choice. Are you going to just do this performative bullshit where you have basically you put a trans person on a board and then you just say, well, we're diverse. It reminds me of that cartoon where there's a diversity. Let's see if I can find it. With drones. But basically using like people that are getting droned are going to care if oh, here it is. Here it is. Let's see if I can. Come on. Let's see if I can find this before I put this up here. Oh no. Anyways, it is important that I actually put this up here, but I hate to actually kind of bringing the show to a standstill while I try to. It's worth it though. It's fucking worth it. I'm literally just gonna put this up here. Switch this over. So this one over here in the corner. They say the next one will be sent by a woman. It really makes you feel like you're part of history. So fucking on point. It's scary. But like I said, it's fucking performative. It's this performative bullshit that it's just it really is gross, and it's not doing anything. Um, what I really did like what Sakura Rose said. She said, "I can't be part of an organization that thinks it's acceptable to use trans and non-binary people, but does not listen to them. I cannot be part of an organization that thinks diversity is just having faces you can use to get your diversity cookies. And certainly I can't be part of an organization that decides the voices of trans folks should be listened to while the voices of trans and non-binary people should be ignored in favor of the transphobes." And that's what these people are always. This gets me into the next hilarious story. It's like, here we fucking go again. But see if I can bring it up here. Oh god, it's so fucking predictable. It's so predictable. So there was a school in East Sussex that agreed to remove the names of Winston Churchill and J.K. Rowling from 2 of its 4 houses. Pupils said Churchill promoted racism and inequality, while Rowling should be removed for her words about the trans community. So you can argue all you want about this, but both those are hashtag facts. I mean, literally, like, you can talk about Churchill being a person of his time and all that stuff, but literally, there's he let people starve with the Bengal. He let people in it's the Bengal famine. Look it up if you want to fucking know what a great guy that he was. Oh god, I'm ruining the entire show by showing you all these tweets. We're gonna get rid of that one and that one. But yeah, Churchill, you can sit there and say, "Oh well, he really saved us during World War II." What's funny is people never talk about what the Russians did. The Russians defeated Germany. And that's just history, folks, but people don't like to talk about that. America came in and saved everybody at the last minute. Nope, that's not history, actually. America didn't. Soviet Union did. Stalin did. Sorry. You might not like it, but it's, again, hashtag facts. But having a name on a building, that's not canceling. But of course, this is LGB Alliance, this anti-trans hate group. And like, they have this right. And some random geek in the chat put a link to, and I'm going to put up here as one of our fellow leftists has put a video together about the Bengal famine. And I've watched that channel. I think it's Bad Empanada. I think I'm pronouncing that right. David says Churchill lost the only election held during the war. Yeah, I mean, if that tells you something about people, especially in this country, what I'm saying is pretty much blasphemy, I think. But it's true. I mean, that's the thing. People don't like to talk about facts. But this is not censorship. This is not canceling. First of all, Churchill's dead, and J.K. Rowling's a fucking millionaire or billionaire. She has a fucking. She might as well be like fucking. Who's the duck in DuckTales that was swimming in money? Scrooge McDuck. She might as well be Scrooge McDuck swimming in a fucking sea of coins. There's no canceling her. She has her own media empire that she can bring. I mean, she can't be, quote, silenced. Adam Rainstopper in the chat says he did as much appeasement as anyone. Heralding him as some kind of hero is obscene. Yeah, but saying that canceling, I mean, we're canceling Churchill. I mean, he's not even a fucking alive. I'm not sure how you can cancel someone's memory. I mean, by telling the truth. That's the funny thing. It's the truth. This is literally what we're saying, is that we can't talk about actual facts. Oh dear. So there you go on that. I mean, I to me, Adam said canceling is a myth anyways. Yeah, I agree with that mostly. I mean, I forget there was it's not it's mostly a myth. I mean, there was a black academic. That was I think you could legitimately say he was Mark Lamont Hill. Is it Mark Lamont Hill? Let me see. I'm pretty curious about this. If I yes. So he was working for CNN, and he said we have an opportunity to not just offer solidarity in words, but to commit to political action, grassroots action, local action, and international action that will give us the justice that requires that a free Palestine from the river to the sea. The Anti-Defamation League had said that the phrase river to the sea is code often used by Hamas for the destruction of Israel. In 2018, Hill rejected this characterization, saying it was a call for justice and referring to the existing borders of Palestinian territories of the Mediterranean Sea and the Jordan River. And he literally lost his job because of it. He was fired from CNN. And the board of Temple University said that his words many regarded as promoting violence. Literally by pointing out in context the boundaries. I know you can have some coded words sometimes, some dog whistles, but I don't believe that was one. So this is somebody that was actually, his name is Mark Lamont Hill, and you could say that he was he was canceled. But when you're talking about people like uh ContraPoints, I mean, she has probably has more viewers now than any other time. Everybody that talks about being fucking canceled is literally just doesn't want, it's a way to avoid criticism. It's literally just removing any kind of accountability. It's a way to avoid talking about what people are actually saying. Um, and it honestly, there is part of that type of um, characterization that does bother me, because anybody that supports BDS is considered um, anti-Israel or anti-Zionist or anti-Semitic. Uh, so it's almost like if you support Palestinians having the right to their own autonomy, then you're an anti-Semite. I mean, so there is actual there is actual canceling, but I think it's rare. And when it happens, it's to people on the left, not people on the right. It's not conservatives that are, quote, hashtag canceled. So, uh, it one of the good things that I've actually seen lately is that there have been um, some folks that have stood up and talked about our rights. Um, and I love one of the most important things to happen, I think, is that we have people that are not trans that are speaking up for us. This is, um, I am going to really fuck up his name, Oz Chatterjee. Chatterjee. Um, he said LGBT Alliance are an anti-trans group that were happy to share a platform with a U.S. anti-LGBT, anti-abortion, far-right group, the Heritage Foundation, because they share the agenda of opposing trans rights. This is a pathetic PR game that they're playing. And it's ironic that a trans person, a TERF token, Debbie Hayton, comes out and says, whatever you think you might be doing, you're not helping transgender people. When you have moved on, we will still be here cleaning up the mess you've made. Strange for a journalist to publish DMs like this as well. Why should anyone ever trust you again? What are the DMs? As lesbians, bisexuals, and gay men, we reject the new homophobia that calls itself progressive. Sex, not gender. Please donate. Hi, we think you have been misinformed about our organization. We would be happy to meet with you and explain our concerns. And this is what he came back with, which is fucking brilliant. Hi, thanks so much for reaching out. Please, it's really important to me that I send you this message. Go and fuck yourselves forever, and you fucking hateful bigots. I despise everything you stand for and always will. Go to hell and don't ever contact me again. That is just that. I mean, I'm sorry. That's fucking gold. That's brilliant. And that is good for trans people. That's awesome for trans people. So, yeah. Thank you, Oz. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is seriously, we need so much more of this. We need so much more of people standing up for our community. Oh, by the way, I mean, I really like putting some random geek up, but I put it over my own face. That's not very nice of me to myself. Um, The cheek of being accused of this by a group that set it up with the express intention of campaigning against greater legislative protection for trans people is so insidious and obscene. And I stand by every word in my response to you and your rancid hate group. Only a few weeks ago, this group was writing private emails trying to get a gay friend of mine sacked from his job because of his pro-trans politics. This group is masquerading itself as a rights organization while campaigning to spread hate. I will not play this game with them. Here's another one of the founders of LGBT Alliance opposing the existence of LGBT clubs in schools because of the fear of predatory gay teachers. This is supposed to be a group that protects the LGBT community. It's fucking incredible. I mean, this is blistering. So, for the people asking me if my response to these people was professional when they slid into my inbox, absolutely yes. Fuck the LGB Alliance. Fuck their hideous or their horrendous bigotry, and fuck everything they stand for. Disgusting group run by disgusting people. Oh my. I would stand up, but you'd just be, staring at my belly button. So. That is amazing. And especially in the onslaught that trans people are dealing with right now. You know what bothers me the most though? People will talk about, "Oh, we need to." There was a really good post. I don't have time to get to it, but there was a really brilliant post where this person literally, in fact, I might be able, let me see if I can find it. No, I can't. I want to take a look and see if sometimes well, fuck it. I'm gonna look on my other screen and see if I can find this tweet because I do think it's important. And it wasn't very long ago. Kia Starmer. Oh my god. He's supposed to be more inclusive, pro business. Nope, it's not on here, but I wish it was because I wanted to share it with you all. Anyways. Anyways, we'll go on from this. So here's another one. Here's a funny one. This person is anti-trans or gender critical, whatever you want to call it. Ariel Scarella says that non-binary sounds made up. Has anyone told her about every word ever? I love it when people, I mean, that is literally the most awful fucking argument. That's just a made up word. All words are made up. Oh god. I mean, and these people, you have to wonder, because I've come to the conclusion that there are certain people that know that some people are ignorant and some people are just obvious grifters. And I have to wonder if this person's a grifter or if they're just ignorant. I'm thinking grifter because you have to know that all words are made up. And what? So I think somebody's just trying to grift off that. And basically, I am actually working on a video right now, writing a script for a video that my first or second, I am not sure which script I get done first, but talking about the YouTube economy and the social media economy. And one of the things that I've really noticed is that the algorithm lifts people up that make comments like this repeatedly because it gets eyeballs. It's not honest. It's not. Um, it doesn't have any truth to it. It doesn't have any. It doesn't have any basis. It's just hate, and it's just spreading ignorance. But it gets retweeted, and it gets retweeted. That brings eyeballs. That it's just this vicious circle. So I kind of have to wonder. Adam Rainstopper in the chat says gender critical is such an Orwellian contradiction. This is the least critical position you can take on gender. They're literally passing off biological essentialism as critical. Well, and that's the thing. They didn't like being called TERFs, but it literally is, they are exclusionary. And yes, they are biological essentialists. They like it kind of reminds me of the alt-right, because they literally they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to be um, seen in a good light, and use weasel words to actually they use dog whistles to hide what they actually mean, at least. Yeah, turf is a slur. um, I always want people to explain to me how turf is a slur. It literally means transgender, exclusionary, radical feminist. What part of that is a slur? So I just realized I need to turn WhatsApp off. So yeah, and Adam continues. It's the same with the radical part. They aren't radical by any definition. They defend existing social institutions, and that's right on the money. This is exactly what they're supporting. It has absolutely nothing radical. In fact, the people that are in these groups are literally um, working with conservatives. They're working with the Heritage Foundation. They're working with Christian groups. There was a lesbian activist here in the UK, Linda Bellows, who actually spoke at the Supreme Court against LGBT rights because, of course, it was supporting trans rights as well. So we want to talk about free speech, right? So everybody that knows of TERFs in the UK knows about Julie Bindel. She's pretty famous for her screaming, "She's been silenced!" Oh my God. So I'm just going to do a search real quick. Bindel tape. Oh no. Tape silenced. There you go. This is her. The silencing. Ironically, she put the tape on herself. All right. So this is Julie. And why are trans activists in a bookstore trying to cancel me? Oh God, who does it remind you of? Somebody with a fucking super large platform like this person who's is a representative, literally has one of the biggest platforms in the world and claims to be silenced or censored. Uh, this blue mouse eek says, I don't know, Julie. Maybe it's rubbish. Maybe they don't have room for every book and print. Maybe they just don't want to sell your musings. Sell it on eBay, Amazon, advertise it on Spinster, set up your own website. Enough with this privileged poor me whiny routines. And oh my God, this is pretty much it. They feel like, and it's like that old saying that to the privileged, um, equality feels like oppression. And Helen, Mimi Mommy, said scratch a transphobe, find an Islamophobe, and yep, you have Muslim DNA in you. No wonder, of course, you hate women. No wonder you don't give a damn about women. What? Uh, oh God. It doesn't shock me. I mean, there's literally, if you want to go look it up, there is by a pretty prolific trans rights exposer of controversies and stuff, Sprout on Twitter, put a thing out on a literal Joni Walsh, who is a journalist, and where she was talking about her Muslim friends in a way that wasn't very well. we'll let we'll let Helen explain it. Yeah, it's scratch. Yeah, yeah. Scratch a transphobe, find an Islamophobe. So yeah, I do love. David says whoever says something about uh, whoever says something is Orwellian probably hasn't read any of Orwell's actual work, and that's the honest to God truth. um, how you can sit there and say that you're canceled or that you're silenced when you have a huge fucking media platform and you cannot lose a job. Even there are people like Julia Hartley Brewer, who used to work at LBC. She gets fired from LBC and she lands up at Talk. I mean, these people go from one place to another. Andrew Neil was at the BBC and he goes to the Spectator. I mean, you can't cancel them. They literally just keep working. They just go somewhere else. Jamie J is in the chat. Hearts to Jamie J in the chat. Thanks for coming. So yeah, it's just it would be hilarious if it wasn't so fucking just sad. And there was a parliament uh basically they were talking about reforming the Gender Rights Act, and of course there are people that were there. Trans person, cis person does not introduce trans person as my trans friend. Friendship goals. Oh my God. Anyways, they're basically talking about our rights in Parliament and um, just caught a few of the debate questions, and one of the gender critical panel members had the audacity to state that there was no evidence uh, of abuse against non-binary and gender fluid people. Luckily, the person from the Law Society stated otherwise. Yeah, and was there any trans or non-binary or gender fluid people there? Jesus Christ! Really, really, yeah. We don't have any proof of that because we didn't invite anybody to our little party. it's just, it's just absurd. By the way, I think I am going to do some work in the. I'm going to do some work in the YouTubes. We're going to talk about that here in a minute. Actually, I'm going to switch back over. Um, I do want to. I do want to talk about. Uh, I do want to talk about some comments that I got recently. Soon, but I also want to go to YouTube.com and some people that are in the chat right now because there's something that I've been neglecting. Um, if anybody is in right now, because if anybody has been in the last couple of shows, you would see that there have been quite a few. Oh, we do have some wrenches in here. Yes. Jamie J. All right, good. My big thing, to be honest with you, I had somebody I would make David, but then he would give his own. He'd have to give his own timeouts uh, for the bad puns. But we had somebody come into the Twitch channel and call one of my friends, somebody that I'm trying to help, who is really just trying to live, a whore, and it was just awful. So I'm gonna try to have more moderation of the channels. So, anyways, I want to finish up tonight by talking about everyone's favorite topic right now. I got a couple comments on the YouTubes.com. Lewis says bread tube equals Mexican standoff. Oh yeah, but bread tube doesn't exist, does it? At least that's what I was told. Bread tube does not exist. But Linda Danvers said, I take issue with Abigail Thorne, and this is about the show we did about the transphobic joke. I take issue with Abigail Thorne's sense of entitlement as well. Until her recent coming out, she capitalized on her status as an ally, even though she did not live up to the responsibilities of an ally. Her fans have harassed non-binary creators and trans women creators and everyone else whose voices even the mildest criticism of her. And to me, that is literally what a stan does. And if people aren't aware, standing it comes from a song from Eminem, but it's essentially that somebody that is a fan to the point of unhealthy um, unhealthy limits. Basically, they make excuses in every way, and it reminds me a lot of Christians. To be honest with you, they'll take the narrative that there is a God, and I'm conservative Christians, um, fundamentalist Christians, and wrap science around it. They'll say, well, if you ask them about the age of the Earth, they're going to say, science is not right on that. Carbon dating's just false. And guess what? They basically wrap their concerns around with science around things that make their point look untrue. So it's literally just playing to the narrative all the time, discounting anything that criticizes their point of view. And that's what this seems like a lot. Abigail came out as a bisexual man in a video 15 months ago while she already knew she was a trans woman. Bisexuals and pansexuals are not taken seriously because so many cis and trans people use their identity as a stepping stone to coming out as gay. Abigail knew this and did it anyways. She stated in a recent stream that she had planned on coming out as trans much earlier in 2020, probably May of 2020, after the Dracula play. So there's no way she was not working on her transition and coming out when she uploaded Queer on YouTube in October 2019. I am fine with letting people go off a label when it no longer suits them, but Abigail did not do that. She intentionally claimed an identity as a cis bisexual man, knowing that that's not who she was, and then turning around and said she was not comfortable that some men saw her as a role model. She probably knew she was not telling the truth every time she referred to herself as the cis man in other videos, but that I can still somewhat overlook. But her coming out as bisexual man is not something I can forgive, particularly since, as usual, she has shown zero remorse over that. And that's kind of leftist YouTube, RedTube, whatever we're calling it, in a nutshell. I mean, people that have made mistakes, they don't own up to them. They basically double down. Or, I mean, Abigail said, I don't read the comments. I don't respond to comments. And literally, Natalie, ContraPoints, had her social media person. I don't know how that went. And she made the oddest comment, saying, well, what do you want me to do? People are going to criticize me anyways. I want you to do the right thing. That's what you should do. You should do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Now, the only thing I would take issue with this comment, even though I'm going to like it and reply to it later, the only thing that I'd have a problem with this is intent. And I don't like to judge somebody's intent. I don't want to say so and so did this because I don't think that's fair. But again, I go to this a lot, because it's a brilliant, it's a brilliant video. If I can find it, the guy's name is Jay Smooth. Here it is.
Race, the final frontier. No matter what channel you watch, no matter what feed you aggregate, it seems like everybody everywhere is talking about race right now. And when everybody everywhere is talking about race, that means sooner or later you're going to have to tell somebody that they said something that sounded racist. So you need to be ready and have a plan in place for how to approach the inevitable "that sounded racist" conversation. And I'm going to tell you how to do that. The most important thing that you've got to do is remember the difference between the "what they did" conversation and the "what they are" conversation. Those are two totally different conversations, and you need to make sure that you pick the right one. The "what they did" conversation focuses strictly on the person's words and actions and explaining why what they did and what they said was unacceptable. This is also known as the "that thing you said was racist" conversation, and that's the conversation that you want to have. The "what they are" conversation, on the other hand, takes things one step further and uses what they did and what they said to draw conclusions about what kind of person they are. This is also known as the "I think you are a racist" conversation. This
is one of those things. I think when you're criticizing someone, you criticize what they do, not what they are. And I think intent is very hard to prove. And he's going to go on to say pretty much that.
This is the conversation you don't want to have, because that conversation takes us away from the facts of what they did and the speculation about their motives and intentions, and those are things you can only guess at, you can't ever prove, and that makes it way too easy for them to derail your whole argument. And that is the part that's crucial to understand. When you say, "I think he's a racist," that's not a bad move because you might be wrong. That's a bad move because you might be right. Because if that dude really is racist, you want to make sure you hold him accountable and don't let him off easy. And even though intuitively it feels like the hardest way to hit him is just run up on him and say, "I think your ass is racist," when you handle it that way, you're actually letting him off easy, because you're setting up a conversation that's way too simple for him to derail and duck out of. Just think about how this plays out every time a politician or a celebrity gets caught out there. It always starts out as a "what they did" conversation, but as soon as the celebrity and their defenders get on camera, they start doing judo flips and switching it into a "what they are" conversation. "I have known this person for years, and I know..."
Oh my God. Every fucking stand out there. This is exactly what they do. Exactly. I know Philosophy Tube. We have known each other all our lives. I know their heart. They are not transphobic. Oh my God. It's literally every single one of them has some form of this.
For a fact that they are not a racist, and how dare you claim to know what's inside their soul just because they made one little joke about watermelon tap dancing and going back to Africa.
And then you try and explain that we don't need to see inside their soul to know that they shouldn't have said all that about the watermelon. And you try to focus on the facts of the situation, but by then it's too late, because the "what they are" conversation is a rhetorical Bermuda Triangle where everything drowns in a sea of empty posturing until somebody just blames it all on hip-hop and we forget the whole thing ever happened. Don't let this happen to you. When somebody picks my pocket, I'm not going to be chasing him down so I can figure out whether he feels like he's a thief deep down in his heart. I'm going to be chasing him down so I can get my wallet back. I don't care what he is, but I need to hold him accountable for what he did. And that's how we need to approach these conversations about race. Treat them.
And I think this is a good way to treat any kind of, when you're talking about somebody that has done something that you think is racist or transphobic or homophobic, don't focus on what they are. Focus on what they said. And what they, and to be honest with you, what they've done. I mean, my biggest thing isn't that Abigail made these comments. It's that she hasn't apologized. She hasn't literally said, "I fucked up. This is something that I've done, and I need to fix it." I mean, ultimately, when the people that you care about fuck up, you want to call them out. You don't want to protect them. You want to call them out and make sure that they are accountable, that they do the right thing. If you care about somebody, I mean, I saw this and it just kind of pinged me along the same way. AOC isn't your friend. The podcasters you listen to aren't your friends. The people you chat with most days aren't your friends. You are completely alone, hurting anonymous through the vacuum of space, hurtling anonymous through the vacuum of space. But it's you do have to be careful on how you see these things. ContraPoints, Philosophy Tube, they're not your friends. They're not your brother. They're not your sister. They're not your cousin. They're not even your community. They're people that make money by making videos. And you got to keep that in mind. I mean, I've had to learn that kind of in some bad ways. Seeing what some people have done to my friends, people that are my friends, like some random geek, and seeing what people like, oh, I don't know, Christy Winters, after he made and everybody knows that geek is a very devoted anarchist and someone, but that is very kind-hearted. And when he was talking about kill all landlords, given that one of his very best friends, Leto, is a French landlord, he's not literally talking about, it's like when you're talking about kill all men, are you literally talking about killing all men? You're talking about the institution. You're talking about institutional misogyny that you want to kill. It's not about men per se. Talking about kill landlords. You're not talking about killing the people that are landlords. You're talking about getting rid of the fucking position, the job. But so it's always good to keep in mind that people that you kind of look up to that host YouTube channels. You know what? You know what's funny? Jamie said UWU. and the old person that I am, I have to go look up what it is on urbandictionary.com. Oh, Lord have mercy. I'm so old. But yeah. So anyways, just remember, parasocial relationships are a one-way thing. Most of the time. I do want to point out something else. I posted this on Facebook, 2017. The one thing, I hate Facebook for the most part, and I've gotten myself pretty much off of it. I haven't canceled my account, but I posted this in 2017. To those people saying we shouldn't hate, we should rise above, and all that shit, check your privilege. Yes, this. Oh my God, because there is so much trauma and drama that is allowed under this kind of bullshit. What was it Michelle Obama said? when they go low, we go high, and I'm just like, no. Sometimes you got to go low, and people shouldn't. I guess you shouldn't hold on to your hate, but you should get rid of it when it's healthy for you to get rid of it. And nobody can tell you when that is. I think it's complete shit when people when people say shit like that. It's just crap. Anyways, I am going to bring OBS up here and see if I can actually switch this over to VLC. Oh, wait. I actually have. I always, what's funny is I always forget. We're gonna end the show. Now one of these might take a while to get through, but we're gonna end the show with some with a bit of comedy. We're gonna do this other one first, I think, though, because I do want to end on a lighthearted thing. So,
being gay is a choice. No, it's really not. Yes, it really is. Okay, I'm gonna prove it to you then. I'd love to see you try. I want you to turn gay and prove to me that it's a choice. I'm not attracted to men though, but you just said it's a choice. Well, I mean, how do you know that you're not attracted to women if you've never been with one? I have, and I still like other genders, but how do you know that you're not attracted to men if you haven't been with one? Because I'm not gay. But I thought it was a choice and that you needed to try it out to see.
Really?
We're gonna leave this one for later, but yeah. So here's the thing, and I literally I've done a couple TikToks on this. When it comes to the whole, I mean, I do think that is right on the money. People will talk about, oh, being gay, it's a choice. And I do think that it's amusing when conservatives say that. Well, it's a choice. Maybe you should try it. Maybe you should show us, prove that it's a choice. But ultimately, I think that's just a stupid question. Ultimately, it's a stupid question because you just hold on. We're gonna end the show with Antifa sluts, but we're getting there. We're getting to the Antifa sluts. We're gonna ride the Antifa slut slide all the way to the end of the show. But it's such a stupid question because being a Christian is a choice, being Muslim is a choice, being Hindu, being Sikh is being an atheist is a fucking choice. What is your point? It's the dumbest fucking question ever. You shouldn't ask it. You shouldn't. That question should never even be debated if it's a choice or not, because it's my choice. One of the biggest problems I have with any kind of, whether it's abortion or drug laws or anything like that, people should have, or assisted suicide. People should have the right to bodily autonomy. Period. End of story. You may not like it, but who I have sex with should be none of your fucking business. When I want to take my own life should be none of your business. It doesn't harm you. It doesn't do anything to you. I mean, Dignitas has been around forever and it functions perfectly. The people that talk shit about it literally have no proof. And it's, you know, in Wisconsin or in South Dakota, they just recently passed legislation to legalize marijuana. And a judge said that was unconstitutional. And it's like literally thwarting the will of the people. I'm just like, Jesus Christ. It should be about bodily autonomy and personal liberty. If you truly believe in, and most conservatives, I believe that we should have freedom. Freedom to what? I want to smoke some pot. Well, not that freedom. I want to suck some guy's dick. You can't do that. That's not, no, not that freedom. What? Freedom to fucking be in this little box that you approve of these things that you approve of. When people, and I had a couple of videos on of basically a woman that was talking about swerfs, which are basically the sex work equivalent of TERFs. They're always talking about people being used by sex work, but they never talk about Jamie J saying freedom to oppress. Yeah, that's exactly what they want. But it's they never they talk about people being trafficked, but where are they with those people? Abortions. They talk about the children, the little babies. Where are they with those kids that are born? You know, they sit there and talk about, oh, you're just sponging off the government. They're a precious life until they're actually born, and then it's okay if they die. It's absurd. It's absurd. So, anyways, yeah, I thought that was. It's a good point, but at the same time, it's a stupid question. We should never ask because I mean, these people aren't honest in their criticisms. I had somebody. I had somebody literally talking to me about, they were on television talking about transgender people. Oh, I know what it was. It was on the Dusty Smith show. He showed these religious bigots, just a religious bigot, and particularly that was talking about transgenders will never go to heaven. And I sit there and I'm like, well, what does the Bible say? I mean, I'm no longer a Christian. Okay, let's see. Isaiah 56:4. What does Isaiah 56:4 say? Isaiah 56:4. For this is what the Lord says to the eunuchs who keep my Sabbath, who choose what pleases me and hold fast to my covenant. What do they get? What do they get? Oh my God.
Ding, ding, ding. What do we have for her, Johnny?
Oh, what do we have? To them I will give with my temple and its walls a memorial and a better name than the sons and daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that will endure forever. Well, if you look in the Bible, and eunuchs, what are they? I mean, literally. eunuchs were the people that were they were trans people. They were trans people. And if you go read Ruth, you realize that they were protectors of the women that of the king's harem, basically. That they were trusted. So and Jesus even said in the Bible that eunuchs, some were made by God, others were made that way by men. So literally, these bigots have no fucking biblical position on it. They don't care it though. They literally they aren't honest about what they're talking about. Some random geek in the chat talks about Mark Twain. I do have to laugh. Mark Twain's the reason I became a atheist, because I read a book of his called Letters from the Earth. And Letters from the Earth, his sister, who lived on she wouldn't let it be published. It wasn't published until, I believe, 1969. I'm reading this from Wikipedia. It compromises essays written during a difficult time in Twain's life, where he was deeply in debt and had recently lost his wife and one of his daughters. The content concerns morality and religion, striking a tone that are sarcastic. Imagine the fact. Twain being sarcastic. Clara Clemens. Mark Twain died, I believe it was around 1911. And it wasn't, she objected to this being published in 1939 because she was a Christian herself. She claimed it had presented a distorted view of her father. But it's basically the perspective, some of it is of Satan asking questions about God, and about how a God that is just, that is knows the beginning from the end, that literally is, I mean, because when people talk about God, they say God, there is no future, there is no past, God lives outside of time and space, and all these things. Well, God knows the beginning from the end. Well, if that's the truth, then God has made people to burn in hell forever. He knows this before he creates them. So yeah, I was just like, it reminded me of, even though I can't really say that I like, oh God, what is his name? He was in V for Vendetta. He's gay. That should be enough. He claims to be V at one point. Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry said, "What would you do if you met God?" And his answer is just spot on. That's not his answer. That's a masterclass by
Stephen Fry is a likable, outspoken atheist and homosexual who has attempted suicide a number of times because he suffers from chronic depression. In he's got good reason to be depressed. This is because he lives out the futile and utter hopelessness of atheism. Listen now as he annihilates God.
Suppose what Oscar believed in as he died,
This
in
is
spite
from
of
a
your
Christian.
protestations, suppose it's all true, and you walk up to the pearly gates and you are confronted by God. What will Stephen Fry say to him, her, or it?
I will basically, what's known as theodicy, I think. I'll say bone cancer in children? What's that about? How dare you? How dare you create a world in which there is such misery that is not our fault?
His question to God was rather
I love it that I picked one that this is Living Waters, and they're gonna try to mute it with scary music, but it's true. It literally is true. What kind of God creates bone cancer in children? And that's what did it for me. But yeah, to ask this question is just absurd. It should never be asked, because I'm bisexual. It's a choice. For me, it's a choice, and it's my choice. If people don't like it, they can fuck off. Because again, David's God. What kind of God creates Fox News? Rupert Murdoch. Pray to him now. But even every religion teaches that you should have bodily autonomy. The choice, free will. Well, not all religions, but most. So anyways, yeah. So let's get on to the sluts, the Antifa sluts. Oh my God. And you wanted it. Just remember it. You wanted Antifa sluts. Bring up my VLC again here. VLC Antifa sluts. All right. Here we go.
No, it's really not.
Really? Rioters were hypnotized by Antifa temptresses who had psychoactive drugs in their vaginas.
This is the pillow guy.
Who told him? Who snitched? It was you, Karen, wasn't it? God damn it, we can't take you anywhere. This is why we can't have nice things.
They were drugged by Antifa sluts. Antifa sluts. Did it again! Oh my God. Really? Antifa sluts. That's where we're going. And Leto shows up into the chat telling David to shut up. Very nice. Very nice. Anyways, that's it for tonight. We're going on. Where are we? Where are we? What time is it? Sounds very ethereal. I don't even know how long we've been doing this. We've been doing this a while. An hour and a half. I am really thankful for this. I really thank you guys for coming. I'm really starting to get into a groove, I think. Like, I'm trying to expand some things. Not Antifa sluts, but and to go on different platforms. Ultimately, I want to be putting clips of this up on Clapper and TikTok and oh, just clips of the show. But things will change as we go along. But I love doing this. I look forward to every Wednesday and Saturday night. By the way, you can watch this show on Saturday night. I mean, we've got your weekend cleared right up. Watch this show on Saturday night. Go to bed. Get up. Have a nice lunch. Nice breakfast, nice lunch. Do your chores. And then head over to Social Justice Alchemy with John Brockman and Leto Anor and some random geek and Tom and Jamie J, who's gamey gay, and David's awful puns, which are totally allowed here. Because I enjoy the most awful puns. I saw one today and I literally had Leto in my head saying, "Shut up, David." So yeah. Some random geek actually said something earlier. Don't you know all the work they do for POC and trans folks? What they said wasn't transphobic. Yeah. I've seen that a million times. And that is exactly why people need to use that formula. What they said was transphobic. I'm not arguing about who they are. I'm arguing about what they did, what they said. But thank you guys for coming. Thank you for everything. Thank you for Jesus. Oopsies. That's not supposed to come up there. But I'm supposed to be on this one. No. I need another person next to me doing the little, doing OBS. Oh, someday I'll get it. But by the way, if you want to help, this is what I'm going to end the show with almost always. And that's the fact that as a trans person, that was, by the way, oh my God, I got so pissed off. I've never felt so much rage as I did the other day when I'm originally from Indiana, and literally a gay man that didn't do a whole hell of a lot besides go around and be Cadillac Barbie, was asking, basically said, well, I have problems with pronouns, blah, 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 blah. And then made some stupid comment about free college and people should work for their, I paid for my college. People should go to, I'm just like, oh my God. I spent so much activism, not doing trans activism, but marriage equality work. I hosted protests. The earliest protests in Indiana, I helped organize them. Two of the biggest ones, I was co-organizer. So it was me and another person. And it just pisses me off when somebody literally, and they move away from Indiana and they're sitting there going, I have problems with pronouns. You're literally living in San Francisco. You moved to a place that is one of the most progressive places in the United States for gays. Oh God, it made me rage. But Adam says that I didn't have it, so neither should you. Shit is poison. Yes, it's narcissistic as fuck. No, do you really want to hurt me? Sounds like Boy George. But what's important is that in the big picture of things, one thing that marriage equality taught me was that it isn't the blog posts that we do, it isn't the social media stuff that we do that's the most important. It's connecting with other people. And it's letting people know who you are. Letting them see you and know the person that you are. And one of the biggest ways that you can help other people see who you are is going to charitylinks.page and helping some people out. It's mutual aid. Anyways. Yeah, do it. You're all a bunch of Antifa sluts. Waiting for your check from George Soros. It's all part of the one world government. Petrodollars and the Rothschilds and the Bilderbergers. Go to charitylinks.page and help somebody out. Anyways, y'all have a really good night.
Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and don't forget to click the bell icon to get notified when we go live.
That's right. Anyways, I'm going to let this play for a while. And then we'll end the show. But thank you guys for coming, and hopefully I will see you on Saturday. Oh, and why you're all still here. Something that I wanted to point out, because it looks like there are more viewers than there are chatters. If you want to, if you're on Facebook, you're more likely to come over to YouTube, subscribe, get an email sent to you when we go live. And basically, you're probably going to get into more of the discussion. Sometimes Facebook chats show up, sometimes they don't. So anyways, have a good night, everybody, and we will see you on Saturday.